Giant volcanic eruptions over short durations geologically caused flood basalts, large igneous provinces. And this is what they looked like. Can you imagine what was being exploded, what was being erupted to form mountains such as these? And the eruptions were occurring over short periods of time, tens of years or hundreds of years of continual eruptions. Can you imagine what was going on? Flood basalt is a result of a gigantic volcanic eruption or series of eruptions that covers large stretches of land or the ocean floor with basalt lava. Flood basalt provinces such as the Deccan Traps of India, they're large igneous provinces located in the Deccan Plateau of west central India, one of the largest volcanic features on Earth, and they consist of multiple layers of solidified flood basalt that together are more than 6,600 feet thick. In India, they're called traps. Traps are also known as a trap or dark-colored, fine-grained, non-granitic, intrusive or extrusive igneous rock. Types of trap rock include basalt, periodite, gabbro, and trap is also used to refer to flood plateau basalts, such as the Deccan Traps or the Siberian Traps. And they're after a Swedish word meaning trappa, meaning stairs, due to the characteristic stair-shaped geomorphology of many of these landscapes. Michael Rapino and Richard Stothers cited 11 distinct flood basalt episodes occurring in the past 250 million years, creating large volcanic provinces, lava plateaus, and mountain ranges, of course. But more have been recognized, such as the large Ontong Java Plateau, the Chilcotin Group. The Chilcotin Group is around British Columbia. The Chilcotin Plateau basalts, large area of basaltic lava that forms a volcanic plateau running parallel to the Garibaldi volcanic belt in south central British Columbia. That's basically on the east of Vancouver Island. So the Chilcotin Group, though the latter may be linked to the Columbia River Basalt Group, large igneous provinces have been connected to the 5 mass extinction events. Okay, so these all obviously, when all this is going on, you have a mass extinction event. An extinction event is a widespread, rapid decrease in the biodiversity on Earth. Such an event is identified by a sharp change in the diversity and abundance of multicellular organism, and that occurs when the rate of extinction increases with respect to the rate of speciation. And of course, this may be associated with bolide impacts, meaning they could have been brought on by an asteroid or a comet, a meteor impact. Bolide is an extremely bright meteor, especially one that explodes in the atmosphere, and in astronomy refers to a fireball about as bright as the full moon, and it is generally considered a synonym for a fireball. So in geology, a bolide is a very large impactor. So going on now with the flood basalt, the formation of these. The effects of a flood basalt depend on the range of factors such as the continental configuration, latitude, the volume, the rate, the duration of the eruption, the style and setting. Is it a continental or is it oceanic? The pre-existing climate and the biota resilience to change after this happens. One proposed explanation for flood basalts is that they are caused by the combination of continental rifting and is associated decompression melting in conjunction with mantle plume. Now we have continental rift in the United States. One is the New Madrid seismic zone, which is the Reelfoot Rift Zone, and the other one is the mid-continental rift that is a horseshoe shaped that straddles the Great Lakes On the western side of it, it comes in through Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, all the way down there. And there is a mantle plume there. There is magma under there. The geologists don't know where that magma is coming from, but it is there. So, yes, the flood basalts caused by a combination of continental rifting and decompressing melting, in conjunction with the mantle plume also undergoing decompression melting. Now, these have a very low viscosity, which when they flood, rather than form taller volcanoes, another explanation is they result from the release over a short period of melt that has accumulated in the mantle over a long period. The Deccan traps of India and the Siberian traps of Siberia and the Columbia River Plateau of Western North America are three regions covered by prehistoric flood basalts. The Mackenzie Large Igneous Province in Canada contains the Coppermine River flood basalts and related to the muskox layered intrusion. The Maria on the Moon are additional, even more extensive flood basalts, and flood basalts on the ocean floor produce oceanic plateaus as well. The surface covered by one eruption can vary from around 200,000 square kilometers to 1.5 million kilometers, such as in the Siberian traps, and the thickness can vary from 2,000 meters, that's 6,000 feet, to 12,000 meters, that's over just about 40,000 feet, as in Lake Superior. And these are smaller than the original volumes due to the erosion. Petrography. The flood basalts have tholeite and olivine compositions. The composition of the basalts from the Marianas is fairly typical of that of flood basalts, and it contains phenocrysts occupying about 25% of the volume of the rock. The structures of flood basalts can be of two kinds. They can have smooth or twisted surface, as in the Pahoho, very compact surface, vesicles, gas bubbles. Degassing was easy, magma maintained in the high temperature and more fluid in the chamber of size, such that confining pressure did not confine gases in the melt. Or they can be having a chaotic surface, basalt flood, very rich with bubbles and gas, irregular, fragmental surface, degassing difficult. In the Massif Central in France, there is a good example of chaotic lava flow produced by eruptions from Puy de la Vache and Puy de la Sassoles. Now, there are also the large igneous provinces, LIPs. Large igneous provinces were originally defined as including voluminous outpourings, predominantly of basalt, over geologically short durations, and this definition did not specify minimum size, duration, petrogenesis, or setting. LIPs cover large areas, and the large bulk of magmatism occurs in about less than 1 million years. Principal LIPs in the ocean base include oceanic volcanic plateaus and volcanic passive continental margins. The flood basalts are LIPs distinguished from oceanic plateaus by some investigators because they do not form morphological plateaus. There are flood basalts also found on the planet Venus, and they are, from what scientists are telling us, larger than those found on Earth. Now, some of the lists of flood basalts that we have: the world's largest, the Chilcotin Group. As we know, that's on the area of British Columbia. That's about 10 million years ago. The Columbia River Basalt Group is 17 million years ago. Ethiopian Yemen continental flood basalt 31 million years ago. The Columbia River Basalt Group is associated with the Yellowstone hotspot. Now, the Ethiopian, as we said, 31 million years ago. North Atlantic Igneous Province 56 million years ago, the Deccan Traps 66 million years ago, the Caribbean Large Igneous Province 95 million years ago, the Kerguelen Plateau 119 million years ago, and it goes up to the Mackenzie Large Igneous Province 1,270,000,000 years ago. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.